The Great Bible, 2 Samuel, the 6th chapter. The ark is brought forth of the house of Abinadab. Uzzah is stricken and dieth. David danceth before it, and is therefore despised of his wife Michal. The 6th chapter. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, even 30,000, and arose, and went with all the folk that were with him of the men of Judah, to fetch away from thence the ark of God, whose name is called the name of the Lord of hosts that dwelleth upon it, between the cherubims. And they put the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was at Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. And when they brought it out of the house of Abinadab that was at Gibeah, with the ark of God, Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord in sundry instruments made of cedar wood, with harps, psalteries, timbrels, fiddles, and cymbals. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put his hand to the ark of God, and held it, for the oxen stumbled. And the Lord was wroth with Uzzah, and God smote him in the same place for his fault. And there he died before the ark of God. And David was displeased, because the Lord had smitten Uzzah. And the name of the place was called Perez, the renting of Uzzah, until this day. And David was then afraid of the Lord, and said, How shall the ark of the Lord come to me? And so David would not bring the ark of the Lord unto him into the city of David. But David carried it into the house of Obed-Edom, a Gittite. And the ark of the Lord continued in the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite, 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And one told King David how that the Lord had blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that pertained unto him, because of the ark of God. And David went and brought the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with gladness. And there were with David 7 sorts of dancers, and calves for sacrifice. And when they that bare the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he offered an ox and a fat sheep. And David played on harp strings, and danced before the Lord with all his might, and was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought the ark of the covenant of the Lord, with shouting and trumpet blowing. And it fortuned that as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window, and saw King David spring and dance before the Lord. And she despised him in her heart. And when they brought in the ark of the Lord, they set it in his place, even in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, and gave among all the folk, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men, to every one a cake of bread, and a piece of flesh, and a flasket of drink. And so all the people departed every one to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David, and said, Oh, how glorious was the king of Israel this day, which was uncovered today in the eyes of the maidens of his servants, as if it had been a light-brained fellow uncovered. And David said unto Michal, I thought to dance before the Lord, which chose me rather than thy father, and all his kin, and commanded me to be ruler over all the people of the Lord, even over Israel. And therefore will I play before the Lord, and will be yet more vile than so, and will be meek in mine own sight, and of the very same maidservants which thou hast spoken of, shall I be had in honor. Therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child unto the day of her death. The 7th chapter. David would build God a house, but is forbidden of God. The 7th chapter. It fortuned that as the king sat in his house, after that the Lord had given him rest round about from all his enemies, he said unto Nathan the prophet, Behold, I dwell now in an house of cedar trees, but the ark of God dwelleth within the curtain. And Nathan said unto the king, Go and do all that is in thine heart, for the Lord is with thee. And it fortuned the same night that the word of the Lord came unto Nathan, saying, Go and tell my servant David, Thus saith the Lord, Shalt thou build me an house to dwell in? For I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought the children of Israel out of Egypt unto this day, but have walked in a tent and tabernacle. In all the places wherein I have walked with all the children of Israel, spake I one word with any of the tribes of Israel, since I commanded the judges to feed my people Israel, saying, Why build ye not me an house of cedar trees? Now therefore, so say unto my servant David, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, as thou wast following sheep, that thou mightest be ruler over my people Israel. And I was with thee in all that thou wentest to, and have destroyed all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the world. And therefore I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant it, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall wicked people trouble them any more, as they did at the beginning, since the time that I set judges over my people Israel. And I will give thee rest from all thine enemies. And the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy body, and will stablish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will stablish the seed of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he sin, I will chasten him with such a rod as men be chastened with, and with such plagues as the children of men be plagued with. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put down before thee. And thine house and thy kingdom shall endure without end after thee, and thy seat shall be stablished forever. According to all these words, and according to all this vision, did Nathan speak unto David. Then went David in, and set him down before the Lord, and said, What am I, O Lord God? And what is my house, that thou shouldest have brought me this far forth? And this was yet a small thing in thy sight, O Lord God. But thou hast spoken also of thy servant's house for a great while to come. For this is the use of man, O Lord God. And what can David say more unto thee? For thou, Lord God, knowest thy servant. Even for thy word's sake, according to thine own heart, hast thou done all these great things to make them known unto thy servant. Wherefore thou art great, O Lord God, for there is none like thee, neither is there any God save thou, according to all that we have heard with our ears. And what one people in the earth is like thy people Israel, whose God went and delivered them, that they might be his people, and that he might make him a name, and to show great and terrible things in the earth, for thy people, which thou redeemest to thee out of Egypt, even the people with their gods. For thou hast ordained thy people Israel to be thy people forever. And thou, Lord, art become their God. And now, Lord God, the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and his house, make it good forever, and do as thou hast said. For so shall thy name be magnified forever, of men that shall say, The Lord of hosts is the God of Israel, and the house of thy servant shall be established before thee. For thou, O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, hast told in the ear of thy servant, saying, I will build thee an house. And therefore hath thy servant found in his heart to pray this prayer unto thee. Therefore now, Lord God, thou art God, and thy words must be true. Thou that hast told this goodness unto thy servant. And now go to, and bless the house of thy servant, that it may continue forever before thee. For thou, Lord God, hast spoken it, and with thy blessing shall the house of thy servant be blessed forever. The 8th chapter. David overcometh the Philistines. The 8th chapter. After this, it fortuned that David smote the Philistines, and subdued them, and took the bridle of bondage out of the hand of the Philistines. And he smote the Moabites, and measured them with a line, and cast them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured he them whom he slew, and the length of 1 line saved he alive. And so became the Moabites David's servants, and paid tribute. David smote also Hadarezer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his border at the river Pherot. And David took 1,700 horsemen of his host, and 20,000 footmen, and cut off the hose of all his chariot horses, reserving only 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadarezer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men, and put soldiers in Syria, Damascus. And the Syrians became servants to David, paying tribute. And thus the Lord served David in all that he went unto. And David took the shields of gold that belonged to the servants of Hadarezer, and brought them to Jerusalem. And out of Beta and Berotai, cities of Hadarezer, did David bring exceeding much brass, whereof Solomon made all the brazen vessels in the temple, and the brazen lavatory, and the pillars, and the altar. When Toi, king of Aamat, heard how David had smitten all the host of Hadarezer, he sent Joram his son unto King David, to salute him with peace, and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadarezer, and beaten him. For Toi had great war with Hadarezer, which Joram brought with him, vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and vessels of brass, which brass King David did dedicate unto the Lord with the silver and gold that he had consecrated of all nations, which he subdued, of Syria, of the Moabites, and of the children of Ammon, of the Philistines, and of Hamalek, and of the spoil of Hadarezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And David gat him a name after that he returned, and had smitten of the Syrians in the valley of Salt 18,000 men. And he put keepers in Edom, even throughout all Edom put he soldiers, and all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Lord kept David whatsoever he took in hand. And David reigned over all Israel, and executed right and justice unto all his people. And Joab the son of Zeruiah was over the host, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud was recorder, and Zadok the son of Ahitub and Abimelech the son of Abiatar were the priests, and Sariah was the scribe, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cretites and the Felitites, and David's sons were chief rulers. The 9th chapter. David restoreth all the fields of Saul to Mephibosheth, the son of Jonatas. The 9th chapter. And David said, Is there yet any man left of the house of Saul? For I will show him mercy for Jonatas' sake. And there was of the household of Saul a servant whose name was Ziba. And when they had called him unto David, the king said unto him, Art thou Ziba? He said, Thy servant is he. And the king said, Remaineth there yet any man of the house of Saul, whom I may show the mercy of God upon? Ziba answered the king, Jonatas hath yet a son, which is lame on his feet. The king said unto him, Where is he? Ziba said unto the king, Behold, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, of Lodeber. Then King David sent, and fed him out of the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, out of Lodeber. Now when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonatas, the son of Saul, was come unto David, he fell on his face, and did reverence. And the king said, Mephibosheth. He answered, Behold, thy servant. David said unto him, Fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonatas thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the fields of Saul thy father, and thou shalt eat bread on mine own table continually. And he bowed himself and said, What is thy servant, that thou shouldest vouchsafe to look upon such a dead dog as I am? Then the king called unto Ziba, Saul's young man, and said unto him, I have given unto thy master's son all that pertained to Saul, and to all his house. See therefore that thou and thy sons and thy servants till the land, and bring in, that thy master's son may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth, thy master's son, shall eat bread always upon my table. For Ziba had 15 sons, and 20 servants. Then said Ziba unto the king, According to all that my lord the king hath commanded his servant, so shall thy servant do. Well, said the king, Mephibosheth shall eat upon my table, as one of the king's sons. Mephibosheth had a son that was young, named Micah, and all that dwelled in the house of Ziba were servants unto Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth dwelt in Jerusalem, for he did eat ever at the king's table, and was lame on both his feet. The 10th chapter. The messengers of David are villainously entreated of the king of Moab. The 10th chapter. It happened after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his stead. Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanun the son of Nahas, as his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants over the death of his father. And David's servants came into the land of the children of Ammon, and the lords of the children of Ammon said unto Hanun their lord, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters to thee? Hath not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city, and to spy it out, and to overthrow it? Wherefore Hanun took David's servants, and shaved off the one half of every man's beard, and cut off their garments in the middle, even hard to the buttocks of them, and sent them away. When they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, for they were men exceedingly ashamed. And the king said, Tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. And when the children of Ammon saw that they stank in the sight of David, they sent and hired the Syrians of the house of Rehob, and the Syrians of Zobah 20,000 footmen, and of King Maacah 1,000 men, and of Istob 12,000 men. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of strong men. And the children of Ammon came out, and waged battle at the entering in of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah, of Rehob, Istob, and Maacah were by themselves in the field. When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and after, he chose of all the fresh young men of Israel, and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered unto the hand of Abishai his brother, that he might put them in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be stronger than I, thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, I will come and succor thee. Therefore quit thee like a man, and let us stand stiff for our people, and for the cities of our God. And the Lord do that which is good in his own eyes. And Joab proceeded forth, and the people that was with him, to fight with the Syrians, but they fled before him. And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, then fled they also before Abishai, and entered into the city. And so Joab returned from the children of Ammon, and came to Jerusalem. And when the Syrians saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they gathered them together. And Hadarezer sent and brought out the Syrians that were beyond the river. And they came with their army, and Hobah, and the captain of the host of Hadarezer went before them. And when it was showed David, he gathered all Israel together, and passed over Jordan, and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David, and fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel. And David destroyed 700 chariots of the Syrians, and 40,000 horsemen, and smote Sobah the captain of their host, which also died there. And when all the kings that were servants to Hadarezer saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they made peace with them, and served them. And so the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon any more. The 11th chapter. The adultery of David with Bethsabee, the wife of Urias. The 11th chapter. And it came to pass that after the year was expired, in the time when kings used to go forth to battle, David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, which destroyed the children of Ammon, and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it chanced in an evening that David arose out of his bed, and walked upon the roof of the king's palace. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And he sent to inquire what woman it should be, saying, Is it not Bethsabe, the daughter of Eliam, and wife to Urias the Hittite? And David sent messengers, and fed her. And she came in unto him, and he lay with her. And immediately she was purified from her uncleanness, and returned unto her house. And the woman conceived, and sent and told David, and said, I am with child. And David sent to Joab, saying, Send me Urias the Hittite. And Joab sent Urias to David. And when Urias was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people fared, and how the men of war prospered. And David said to Urias, Go down to thine house, and wash thy feet. And Urias departed out of the king's palace, and there followed him a service from the king's table. But Urias slept at the door of the king's palace with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. Which when they had told David, saying, Urias went not down into his house, David said unto Urias, Camest thou not from thy journey? Why didst thou not go down then unto thine house? Urias answered David, The ark and Israel and Judah dwell in pavilions, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord lie upon the flat earth. And shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink, and lie with my wife? By thy life, and by the life of thy soul, I will not do this thing. And David said unto Urias, Tarry here this day also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. And so Urias abode in Jerusalem that day, and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his couch with the servants of his lord, but went not down to his house. On the morrow David wrote a letter to Joab, and sent it by the hand of Urias. And he wrote thus in the letter, saying, Put Urias in the forefront of the sharper battle, and come ye back from him, that he may be smitten and die. So when Joab besieged the city, he assigned Urias unto a place where he wist that strong men were. And the men of the city came out and fought with Joab. And there were certain overthrown of the people, and of the servants of David, and Urias the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent, and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, When thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, if he begin to fume, and say unto thee, Wherefore approached ye so nigh unto the city, when ye did fight? Wist ye not that they would hurl and shoot from the wall? Who smote Abimelech, son of Jerubbesheth? Did not a woman cast a piece of a millstone upon him from of the wall, and he died in Tebeth? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, Thy servant Urias the Hittite is dead also. So the messenger went, and came, and showed David all that Joab had sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, the men prevailed against us, and came out unto us into the field, and we with violence stacked unto them, even unto the entering of the gate. And the shooters shot from the walls upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead. And thy servant Urias the Hittite is dead also. And David said unto the messenger, Thus shalt thou say unto Joab, Let not that thing trouble thee, for the chance of war is diverse, and the sword devoureth one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city to overthrow it, and see that thou courage Joab. And when the wife of Urias heard that her husband was dead, she mourned for him. And when the mourning was past, David sent and fed her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But this thing that David did displeased the Lord.